Thank you very, very much for coming for this. As you can see, the title of our presentation here is Pathways. It seems that this image is smaller than it should be. Can you see? Hare Krishna. Can you see it well enough? Well, this is big screen. Anyway, let's hope that you can see it well enough. Please come forward if you can't. There is, but it's the screen. It's my screen itself is a little. No, it's zoomed out all the way out. So. What you need is to be back about. Yeah. So anyhow, Hare Krishna. Pathways. The quote that I've been using for both of my seminars, and I think probably many of you have heard this, at least in the plenary session, and we were asked today to memorize it. I have done that, at least the first mission of ISKCON, to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large, and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to correct the imbalance in life and achieve real unity and peace in the world. Is that a sign? I don't know. So, systematically. So what I'm going to try to present here, and this carries on for any of you who attended my previous seminar on the learning organization, on the application of what we call systems thinking, trying to see things in terms of systems and processes. So this is not a very complex system that I'm going to be presenting. It's pretty linear, but it's still a system nevertheless. So the first part of our presentation is going to go over some principles in what we call pathways. So the first principle that we're going to look at are the idea of sales funnel and sales pipeline and how those might relate to what we're doing. Now, you're all going to get copies of this slide presentation, okay? So you don't have to take pictures of it or whatever. You'll get electronic copies of it. If you want a printed copy, that you can do yourself. But as long as you leave us your name and contact, you'll get a copy of this. And other stuff, too. Bonuses. All right. So in a sales organization, there are these concepts of a sales funnel and a sales pipeline. Now, a funnel is the stages that people go through, the customer journey, so to speak. We have some funnels, don't we? We have 9 stages. Not everyone that comes into Shraddha, well, eventually everyone comes into Prema, right? But we see that there's generally a lot more people at the top than at the end, at least to our vision. So similarly in sales, it begins with awareness. It continues to where the interest is sparked. Somebody is aware of your product and then they start to become interested in possibly looking at it. That interest develops into an intention. Yeah, okay, it's time to get something. When the intention is there, generally people are now they're going to really evaluate. I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to buy this other thing. What am I going to? So they're evaluating. And whatever they end up with, they buy. And after that, if they're satisfied and they like it, then they become a loyal customer. That is the typical sales funnel. Now, to move people through this funnel, salespeople will create pipelines. And a generic pipeline would begin with a contact because you can't really move anybody that you don't know so well. Or no. So the contact is the first step in the pipeline. And after the contact, generally salespeople will take some time to qualify the lead. The contact becomes now a lead, and then they become an opportunity. So by qualifying, what do they really want? What are they looking for? Who's, what's, are they really ready to buy something, or they're just, just exploring? They set up the meeting. They set up the proposal. They set up a conversation to talk about and try to get those people to now evaluate their product, which ends up with, here's what I propose to give you. This is just what fits you. This is the car that you really want. This is the washing machine that's going to fit you perfectly. So there's a proposal, which hopefully leads to an actual sale or closing. And then comes the retention. How can I keep you as a customer? Okay, so that's a typical sales pipeline. So we've tried to take and apply these sales funnels and pipelines to outreach. Yes? Yes, there is some connection. Different stages of the pipeline connect with different stages of the funnel. Naturally, the closing connects to the purchase. The meeting, the proposal connect to the evaluation. So there is a connection. But the look is a little different. You're looking at the steps, not the stages of the customer's journey. So we've introduced, we have an idea called the faith funnel. Now the faith funnel begins at the top. Here, Damodar, if you could change the battery quickly. Oh, got to go back. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it went back. All right. So, awareness. We call that seeds. It's not working. Well, it doesn't work. Maybe. So we call awareness, we call it as seeds. And seeds are planted when you go out into the field of Harinam or festivals or whatever. People start to become aware of you. They could become aware on social media. They could be aware just by a newspaper article. They could become aware through a friend that's talking about. Some awareness is there. But the awareness, you don't have actually a contact yet. The next stage is when you actually contact the person, and now you have a basis for interaction. Previously, you couldn't interact because you don't know them. But now you have a contact. And your goal there, we suggest that the goal, the next stage, the next step, the goal that we want to move people through, the next stage in the journey of a person from Maya to Shraddha, okay, to Krishna, is they have to start considering what you're talking about. They have to start considering it. So helping people to consider what we're offering is really important. And to lead them to a situation in which they'll experience a transformation. We suggest that in the journey, and every one of you, just raise your, wasn't there a time during your journey where something happened? There was something you experienced some transformation that said, yes, let me go further with this. Okay? You wouldn't be here otherwise, right? You would have gone somewhere else. You had a transformation that awakened Shraddha. Transformation is the awakening of Shraddha. And from that Shraddha, as we know, develop sadhu sanga, bhajana kriya, and so on. So there's an adoption, and at some point there's a commitment, and finally, after commitment, you want to share. You want to give it to others, so you become an advocate. So just like that pipeline, that funnel, compares to a sales funnel, we also suggest that there are some pipelines that are fairly common, at least in our study, that are working to get people through this funnel. At the seed level, there's some exposure through so many things: harinams, books going out, social media, reading about us in the newspaper. Somewhere there's a seed. And those who have the sukriti, or who have had enough seeds, they actually develop the intent to look at it, to study it. And so they will establish contact. They'll give you their information, or they'll somehow, there's exchange, some interaction takes place. So after that, the next stage, we suggest, and you'll see the examples in the next section, that they have to go somewhere. Of course, some people will just start reading the books and they'll progress on their own. But if we really want to help people, following up with them, we have to give some tools, some places for them to begin considering, evaluating what they're being presented. So that generally works as some one-time event. From there, we've seen that people, if they go to a multi-session event where they're going 3, 4, 5 times, that is the next stage that will lead to the transformation, which often takes place when there's some sort of immersive event. Maybe it's a full day or a retreat or something where you're really getting into it. You go and you help cook the Sunday feast or serve it out, or some seva could be involved, but there's some immersion that affects this transformation. And that results in joining. Now, joining could be joining a small group. Sometimes it's joining an ashram. But there's some sort of joining that takes place at the end of this to get into Sangha. How do these relate? Exposure at the seeds level, contact, consideration through these programs, transformation through this immersion, and then Sangha, adopting, starting sadhana. And then, of course, hopefully it will lead to commitment and to advocacy. Some key elements that we suggest are important in helping people in this consideration phase. Put the needs, interests, and concerns of each person first. How many of you have taken communications training? So you're familiar with this term. Needs, interests, and concerns, right? It's a mantra. But it's applicable across the board. Put the needs, interests, and concerns of each person first. Create the content for a well-defined target audience. It's not all one size fits all. There's going to be different kinds of content for different age groups, different types of people. You'll see some of that in action in our presentation. Which also could mean putting, the old wine, what we have, our content, into new bottles, new frameworks that people can relate to without changing the substance. Timing is important. How to time events. Always focusing on relationships, on getting people to come again. That's the first objective. Often we find that when you charge some money for it, there's some higher perceived value. So not that you have to, but don't be shy of asking for money for these events. Always try to use a neutral space. Srila Prabhupada in the 74, 75 wrote about, let's shift from temples to restaurants and reading rooms where people will come and they'll feel, it's neutral. I'm not being asked to join something or like that. Try to create a neutral space and avoid the temple rituals like artis and so on, which are difficult for people to understand initially. This is an example of putting old wine in a new bottle. This is from Hungary. So this is a picture from our Gita. It's been around for probably 30 years, I think. And it's been updated by the Hungarian devotees in their preaching. Instead of just saying reincarnation process, they say the screams from your previous lives. Hard-hitting words to attract a different kind of audience. Now, like there are elements of, in consideration, there's also elements that we've discovered in transformation. One of the top is that people, they're seeing exemplary behavior in the devotees. They're impressed by their behavior. And especially they're meeting some impressive devotee, someone who really has a lot of realization and knowledge and can present that. They feel accepted. They don't feel judged. This is really important for people at this stage. They have to feel that you're not judging them for not being who you are. They have to get personal attention. And very often, engagement and service can be a key element of transformation. And finally, of course, reading Prabhupada's books. But when they read in a small group with others, in a group setting, you have even more potential for transformation. Many kinds of small groups are out there being used by different devotees in different places. There's a whole set of information here just across the road, Congregational Development Ministry, that tells you about the Bhakti Vriksha system. I'm going to be showing another system which is similar, similar but different, practiced in Delhi, called Mayapur. And the devotees at the Bhakti Center in New York have been working with something they call community groups. So there are a variety of small group settings that you can experiment with if you don't already have something going on. Small groups give ease of entry. They give team learning, facilitated study, open questioning, counseling. You can do Sankirtan together. They develop friendship and care, accountability and outreach. Different elements are there that are advantages to small groups. How many of you here are already in your center having some system of small groups? What do you have? Bhakti Vriksha. Yes, you have. I'm sure all over Russia you have Bhakti Vriksha. Yes? Mayashraya. So we've got a Delhi fellow here. Who else has a small group system going? Brinda? Student groups? Okay. Anyone else? Yes? Youth forum group. Oh, DYS is a course. We'll get into that. But small group where they're meeting regularly for Bhakti Vriksha. Anyone else? Yes? Harinam groups. Well, okay. It could be. I'll talk to you later about that. Find out what you're doing. Yes? Bhakti Vrikshas? Other groups. So groups. Many of you have already started working with groups. So I'm excited. So now we're going to try to look at ways that people come into these groups. The steps that are the pipelines that are being at place. Before that, we'll just review this. What we're talking about here all is about following up. Beginning with interaction and connection, getting to know the people so you can relate with them, and continue this circle. How many have attended Chaitanya Avatari's 6 C's? You went to it? You went to it? So the CDM, Congregational Development Ministry, is explaining this in a little different way through the whole funnel. We're only dealing with from here to here. And they have the whole system all the way to complete perfection. All right. We all want that. So, complete perfection. Any questions on the principles? Then we're going to look at how they're applied. Yes. Yes, we'll talk about it as in the strategies here. Okay? All right. You're up first. East of Kailash. So, unfortunately, fitting it all onto one slide, and this is not so big, you might not be able to read it. This is their pipeline. Their pipeline begins there at the top of their funnel. The seeds get planted through so many different ways, but they make their contact in East of Kailash. Primarily the contact takes place when they actually come to East of Kailash temple. And then when they're there, they see the opportunity for their one-time programs. They have 4 different varieties. So in our state, the way we qualify people is by offering a variety for the different target audiences that we have. Then so if we know that we have a number of different target audiences, then we'll have one type of program that's geared for the young people, another for, like for example, in Bangalore, which I don't present Bangalore here, but they've had a lot of success with a program on parenting. Okay? Now, parenting is going to attract parents. One of the programs here you'll see would be completely different because their target is different. The youth forum people are not going to be giving so much attention to programs on parenting as, stress management or something like that. So the first stage in qualifying your leads is by offering them something that is relevant and relatable to them. So they offer 4 different varieties. And from each one of those, they try to bring them into the Discover Yourself course. The Discover Yourself course is designed to appeal to a wide range of audiences, but they'll also have different batches of the Discover Yourself course according to the kind of audience. Young people will be one, others will be different. From there, the next very interesting stage, they try to get them into immersion by bringing them to Vrindavan. Now, everyone here can't bring people to Vrindavan every weekend or every week or every few months. But you can find some place or some experience that gives that full immersion, a full day with the devotees. From there, they have a introduction. When they're returning from Vrindavan, they tell them about the Mayashraya program, and they invite them to attend an orientation session where they can learn about it. They come to that, and then they join Pre-Ashraya, and then they can join Mayashraya. So the Pre-Ashraya is a short-term program. There's not a lot of commitment. You're not saying, oh, I'm going to join this group, and I'm going to meet every week for the next year. And no, it's just 3 months. Just come for a few times, check it out. No commitment. See what it's like. And they lead people through the philosophy a little bit more, get started with chanting, and then try to qualify them, get them into the full Mayashraya groups. This is some statistics. Over a 3-month period, they'd get about 600 people to attend one of these one-time programs, out of which about 60 would attend the Discover Yourself. Out of that, about half of them would go on the pilgrimage and attend the Pre-Ashraya. and about 25 would actually join the Priya Shraya, and 20 join Maya Shraya. That's 1 out of 30 people that attended their one-time program that's now in a small group, meeting every week for year after year. Very high success rate. Very high success rate. Let's go to the other side of the world, to Houston. There, they've set up what they call their Bhakti Yoga Workshop, which is a kind of a hybrid between a one-time program and a multi-session program. It's in a neutral location. It's not in the temple. It's a property that they acquired a little outside. They use for various events and gatherings. So they contact people in a variety of ways and invite them to this Bhakti Yoga Workshop. It's a full day or a half day. You have a choice. You can go for half a day or a full day. They ask you to pay something, $35 to register for it. You can take the introductory portion, the first half, or you can continue for the whole day. It's a very experiential day. There's a cooking class involved. There's playing kartals. It's a fun program. It's a lot of variety in it. It's oriented towards people of Western descent. 75 to 80% are people of Western descent. And once they've done that, they reach out and they actually engage with people in a personal meditation class. They set that up in either at this location or another location, and they give people one-on-one how to chant. That leads to going to this level 2 workshop and to the level 3 workshop, and then entering into their Bhakti Vriksha system. And they have different Bhakti Vrikshas depending on your background. If you're mostly Indian background, you'll go into their discover, or what is it called? Self-discovery group. And for mostly Western background, they call it high thinking, simple living, high thinking group. Their results, out of, this is 2018, 634 new contacts from various activities. 69 people entered into one of these workshops or into another program, similar, like went straight into a Bhakti Vriksha. And they got 56 people. Again, about 10% of their contacts came into some commitment. Now, many of these contacts are Indian, so they already have some predisposition, but they've had a lot of success with people attending these workshops. We're going to move now into a realm which is called, in sales, called inbound marketing. Anyone here has a sales background? Worked in sales? Familiar with this term, inbound marketing? Outbound marketing is putting up billboards, putting ads on television, putting ads in the newspaper, putting flyers into people's mailboxes, putting the message out there and hoping people will respond. Inbound marketing is when people are looking for something generally on the internet, because nowadays when you want to find something, where do you go? You go to the net, right? And you're looking for something. So as you're looking, inbound marketing is when you attract these people who are looking by your blogs, your keywords. They're looking for Gita, right? They're looking for the Bhagavad Gita. So when you type in Bhagavad Gita, unfortunately today, if you were to type in Bhagavad Gita in Google right now, I'm afraid you will find, except for the book itself, there's not a single web page that is connected to ISKCON. That's why we're having this meeting tomorrow. So if you have a interest in fixing that, please come. But you'll see later where people who typed in Gita course, what they found. We'll see. Anyhow, that's inbound marketing. So you want to attract people, you convert them through some call to action. Another word that you really need to learn about if you're going to do any of this. What is the call to action? Which converts them into now they're a contact or a lead. You know who they are. And you can then close and then delight by giving them more stuff. So, we're going to look first at Budapest. Budapest, and first of all, take a look at their style of graphics, and we'll tell you why it looks like this in a minute. So their pipeline is an inbound marketing system. They actually were using more of an outbound system where they were relying on the devotees going out, distributing books, taking contacts, following up with them. But they're finding that simply by getting good content out into the internet, in social media and in different places, that people are responding better than the devotees going out and distributing books. Not that those people shouldn't be also followed up with, but this is getting very good results. So they use Facebook content, and the goal, the next step, what are they trying to do? They don't have a one-time program like Delhi. They have weekly program. Actually, it is. It's kind of a weekly one-time program called the Govinda Club. And these are examples of those one-time programs. So they invite them. And when they get them to come for several of these, so it's not really a multi-session, it's multi-one-time programs, okay? They've developed some interest. They then take them to the next level, which they call the Dira Club. So the Dira Club is their multi-session type of, because they're expected to come for a few weeks and be cultivated. They then start the immersion process by engaging them in chanting and actually taking them on some different kinds of programs. They take them to the Krishna Valley. They do various things to give them that immersive transformation experience, and they end up in small groups or joining the ashram. Joining the ashram, especially because of who they're targeting. They have, in the last period, they had about 60,000 people that they reached through Facebook and their website. They're getting every week about 40 people to come to Govinda Club and to their Kirtan Jam. They've been able to bring from that pool about 15 or 20 into the Dira Club. They now have about 45 enrolled in the full course. 10 have completed the course and are now practicing devotees. So they're getting some good results. But they focus on one segment, this particular program. Hungary has 4 or 5 of these types of programs for different segments of the audience. This program targets the quality young man. Quality, not crazy or lazy, young between 17 and 27, and men because they have experienced that the girls come anyways, and if they were to focus on girls or to target girls, they'll get too many girls and not enough men, and there'll be an imbalance. But if they just focus on the men, they'll get the girls and the men. It'll work out hunky-dory. So that's their. I don't know that this is going to work everywhere. It may not be. It may be different in other places. Who you target. Another strong inbound marketing program is Shivaram Swami's video and his outreach program. How many of you have seen Shivaram Swami's videos? Check it out. Check out what he's doing. Really powerful. He's got a team of young devotees who write the scripts and conceive of these things, and they're really, really powerful outreach tools. So their video attracts likes and followers, and they have some calls to action to subscribe into their mailing list. And if they're from Hungary, they try to get them into a closed Facebook group where they can qualify them. That's their qualifying level. That ends up, their next step is to get them into actual meeting, a face-to-face, with either Shivaram Maharaj himself or with some of the devotees in his team, where they offer them courses and other programs and get them to start chanting and finally joining. So they've had really phenomenal success with their videos. 312,000 Facebook followers. From that, they've been able to qualify and bring 2,000 of Hungarians, they don't have this for others at this stage, only for Hungarians, into their closed Facebook group. In the closed group means that they have, now these are serious people. These are people who joined the group. And now they can message them and they can contact them. They can really interact with them. From that group, they've gotten 200 to attend the few events that they've done. And many of them begun, 100 or half of them have begun participating regularly. 50 started chanting, and 25 are committed in donations and in various sanghas and so on. Their pipeline, timeline for this is over the course, this is over about a year and a half. The Facebook followers has developed over, I think, 3 years. But this system started about a year and a half ago. Now we're coming back to India. And this is a temple program using inbound marketing. Okay? So this is not all that ISKCON Calcutta is doing. This is the program which is using inbound marketing systems. All right? They have a lot of different things going on. But this one is an example of inbound marketing with a temple. So, their zero level, the awareness, is done through their Facebook, their website, various kinds of content. They've been doing a lot of search engine optimization so that people, when they look for the type of thing that they have, are going to find them. In fact, they've been able to, in the context of Calcutta, not globally, connect people looking for the Gita to ISKCON Calcutta. Okay? So they have been really working on how to use search engine optimization to attract people to their website. On their website, they have a bunch of calls to action, which you're going to see in a minute, that helps to convert the visitors into leads. And then they begin some one-on-one. They call people that have left their phone numbers. They call them personally. And they bring them and through the website and through phone calls to their Discover Yourself course. Similar to Delhi and many centers in India. I mean, you mentioned you use Discover Yourself. It's very successful in India. From there, they attend weekly study circles, begin a relationship, and then they join. They join, in this case, this program is mainly funneling people into their youth forum activities. So that's the joining level. See all their calls to action. When you visit their website, there's a pop-up form. There's a chat box. You can chat, and there's people chatting all the time. There's forms that they fill out to register for events. In Facebook, they also maintain chatting in Facebook. Interaction. In search, when people search for Gita and Gita courses, they find them. Even they look at here, this is your Google My Business. If you have a physical location, you can take advantage of Google My Business, and that also has a messaging function. People can message you through this. So they're exploiting all of these avenues And they've achieved 4,200 people coming through all those different channels, making 125 phone calls, and from these two things, getting 150 people to attend their DYS, 20 regularly chanting, and 10 of them committed to joining Krishna consciousness. This is my own program. Myself and Damodar is helping me, and some other devotees. We have a website called chantnow.com. So we don't have any physical location, and we don't have any place to bring people to. So we're relying entirely on what the experiences that we can give people on the internet. We have a 7-day online workshop and an online mantra meditation course, and coming up now with a sadhana course. So our funnel begins with advertising. We advertise through Google and Facebook, and we also have bookmarks that are handed out by different devotees on book distribution. You can all have some of these. We also have referring links, and we invite all of you to take our link and put it on your website, and we will share every contact that comes through with you so that you can continue the process, but you can use this as a tool in your pipeline. When they enroll in our workshop, they get the lessons by email. We invite them to our closed group where we can cultivate them in our Facebook group. We try to get them enrolled into the next level, which is the mantra meditation course, then into our chanting sadhana course, and connecting them with local groups. Since we started around October of 2018, we've had 23,000 people visiting the website, and 920 have enrolled in our course, our 7-day chanting workshop. 240 actually completed it. They went through all the 7 days at different levels. At least they watched the videos or read the emails. 45 of these went on to enroll in our mantra meditation course, and in different ways, about 10 people we've discovered have adopted sadhana. Those are some strategies. Anyone here would like to share their pipeline, what they're doing? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very inspiring and a lot to learn. We studied the various patterns. It was nice to know the various patterns, the funnels. Yeah, for me, like I also run a small group, and I make a very personal relationship with them. In fact, they relate me as a sister, like they call me sister that way, sharing everything. So that way we develop kind of emotional attachment towards each other, and that way I developed that in sadhana. And it's been like 2-3 years, and a few of them, like 6 of them, are already ready for diksha. So it's more of a personal bonding, like sharing each other's. We do program, I conduct program at my home. So I basically don't follow a particular kind of pattern, but yeah, I think that to get more into my group and to start in a bigger level, I think that I will take some of your strategies. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else like to share their pipeline? Yes.
Maybe my English is not perfect, but I will try to express what we're doing in Russia. We started what we call a Golden Age movement. It includes some Golden Age video, Golden Age magazine, Golden Age website, and so on, just to spread this information. And then we developed Golden Age clubs. It's also small groups, but not religious, but to give some previous knowledge. For example, one city in Russia, in Siberia, is Irkutsk. They have 6 Bhakti-Vriksha groups and 7 Golden Age clubs. And these Golden Age clubs have different topics. For example, vegetarian cooking, or health, Ayurveda, or women club, or marriage relationships, or even study for socionics, you know, but on the basics of Bhagavad Gita. So they get people for these golden age clubs through internet, for social media, social networks. They have one common group in Irkutsk where they invite all the people and they give information about different types of groups. And they can choose one group or another, or shift from one group to another. And once in 2 months they have Golden Age and Bhakti Vriksha Festival, where all the members of Golden Age clubs and all the members of Bhakti Vriksha come together for kind of festival and just explain what they are doing in their groups. So by these programs, members of Golden Age Club join Bhakti Vrikshas. So it works like this.
This is very nice. Just a question, because I'm a little familiar. There's a Sattva club also. Is it the same as the Golden Age Club?
Sattva is another type of clubs in Russia, but some clubs, Golden Age clubs, are Sattva clubs also.
Okay.
So it's connected.
So we're going to ask you for a lot more information.
Yes, please.
So we can include it and share it with everybody. Yes. We'll take a few more, and then I want to show some tools that you might be interested in.
Krishna, I'm from ISKCON Silicon Valley ISV, Vaishya.
Yes.
So our main thing, 90% is of our contacts come from book distribution, Sankirtan. So we dispatch our different groups, 20 different groups. So Western devotees and Indian and non-Indians, Chinese, there are different places. So we have a central place to repository of contacts. It gathers and it captures what is the interest of that person, basic. Interested in Kirtan or a Discover Youth or going to a home program, coming to a temple, or just, learning about books of philosophy, yoga. So based on that, we assess and assign to certain groups which are already there, either Bhakti Vriksha, or temple programs, or Harinam, or directly into book distribution, or we have Bhagavatam class like Pulsa Bhagavatam, which is online. So then it goes funneling into different groups. And we have seen like success people turn up and then they come up either in a Bhakti Vriksha or to the temple. So it's pretty nice.
Where do you invite people who are Western, who are not?
Yeah, so we have a Bhakti Center in San Francisco.
Bhakti Center in San Francisco.
Which is run by Naveen Nirod Prabhu.
Yes.
So yeah, if they're Western and based out in those areas, San Francisco area, we then point it out to attend the Bhakti Center, which is 3 days class in every week. If they are like local,
they have events.
Yeah. Generally they do mantra meditation.
Yeah.
Mantra meditation or Kirtan yoga.
Yeah.
So it goes there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty good actually, amazing.
Well, we're going to have to add that to our presentations in Silicon Valley. So, to finish up, I'd like to just show you a few software tools that can help you manage these pipelines and work these pipelines. Some of you may already have some tools you're using and we'd like to learn about that. But here's some tools that we're discovering. Basically, there are two kinds of tools that really could help you. One is called a contact relationship management system, or a CRM, and the other is called a marketing automation system, or MAS. And we're going to talk here about two of those tools. One is HubSpot and the other is Mautic. And there's another set of tools which you can use with analytics, which we won't get into too much right now. Analytics. So, Mautic. So, a CRM is a tool to replace your spreadsheets. You may have, people's names and addresses and contacts in spreadsheets. Mostly, let's ask, how many here have been keeping a database of contacts at all? Okay. Now, how many here who are using a database of contacts are using a CRM system? You're using a spreadsheet, most likely. Maybe it's an online spreadsheet, like a Google shared sheet. but probably you're using just a spreadsheet. So this CRM system is meant to replace the spreadsheet with something that is 10 times more powerful. A system that manages the pipeline, that logs activities, people that write to you or that you communicate with, they get their entries get logged there. That gives you a chatting system that sees everything about a contact. There's a lot in there. We don't have time to get into all the features of a CRM system. And HubSpot is the one that we're presenting here because it's one of the market leaders in CRM systems. But it's very easy to use. And what's best is it's free. For the basic CRM system, it's totally free. There are others that are free. Bitrix 24 is another one which is free. Also a very good system, but a bit more complicated and not as integrated with other things. Now, HubSpot is free for its basics, but then they have all these wonderful things to offer you that cost $800 a month only. So they make money by offering you the free.
This is all online, or this is standalone?
These are all online systems. Okay? Yes.
Prabhu, we were just recommended to use Salesforce and we're just transitioning to it. Do you know that system? Is it okay?
Salesforce is the market leader in CRM. And they'll give it to you free. You just have to learn how to use it. And that's not so easy. Salesforce. Salesforce, especially using it for our purposes, because it's built for salespeople. And it's not just built for, it's built for what's called B2B sales. Business to business sales. We're not really in the B2B arena. We're in what's called B2C, business to consumer. And Salesforce is really, really, really targeted on B2B. Now, it can be used for B2C, but you have to, there's a lot. We tried using Salesforce, and we gave up because it was too complicated to get it to do what we wanted to do. And we went back to using HubSpot. Now, HubSpot's not the only game in town. There's Zoho CRM. And then if you're doing fundraising, and then I would suggest looking at Civi CRM because that also includes fundraising. So we can advise you on this. Okay, just I don't have time to go through it all. We'll just have a few more minutes. But a CRM system is really going to enhance your capabilities. Having a CRM system. And this is one of the easiest ones to get started with. It really is easy to get started with. It's much more intuitive than Salesforce. Setting it up is, it's just easier, a lot easier, okay? And plus it's unlimited users. Salesforce is free for 10 people. HubSpot is free for unlimited users, unlimited contacts. So anyway, you check it out, and we can work with you, help you analyze your needs. This is one of the features, the dashboard showing you the different contacts. We could spend a whole hour or more on all the features of this particular CRM or CRMs in general. Now, Mautic is a marketing automation system. The biggest thing that you don't get in the free version of HubSpot is their marketing automation. Some of you may have used MailChimp. How many people here use MailChimp? So MailChimp has marketing automation in it. But you're limited to 2,000 contacts or you're paying $30, $40 a month. And it's not, it's not the biggest marketing automation system. Mautic is a marketing automation system. which is open source. Now, open source means it's always going to be free, but you have to spend your time or possibly money to set it up on your own servers. Or they have a paid version as well that you can use. So there's a bit of a trade-off here. Yeah.
Does Mautic actually encompass what a CRM is, or is it something?
It has
are they
CRM.
two different things?
Mautic can be used as a CRM. It can be used as a CRM, but we use the two of them together because HubSpot's just a better CRM than Mautic, and you can use Mautic's marketing automation with HubSpot's CRM. They communicate, they talk to each other. So that's why we've chosen this for our Chat Now project. What is marketing automation? Marketing automation is when you create automated campaigns. You create an automated system whereby when somebody fills out your form on the website, for example, they automatically get an email. If they don't open that email, after a couple of days, they get another email reminding them, oh, you filled out the form, but I see you didn't open the email that we sent you. Perhaps there's something, maybe you didn't get it, so just reminding you. Then in that email, it says, please click here to access this song that we're sending you that's going to lift your life. And if they didn't click on that, then they get a different email that says, oh, we noticed you got our email, you read it, but you didn't click on it, so maybe you missed it. So here it is again. And then after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, when they didn't click, they didn't read, they didn't do anything, you put them in a category, okay, next life, or next next year, or when there's something else. So all of this is being done automatically. You set it up and it's just running. So what we do, what we use it for, is when people register for our workshop, first of all, it's what sends them out every day. It sends out their email lesson, their lessons in the workshop. It also tracks whether they opened the workshop or not, and then reminds them if they didn't. When they finish it, it does something else. It sends them up a special letter. When they're assigned to a mentor, they get a mentor's letter. When they respond to that, something else happens. So it's a way to automate things in the background and leverage the power of the internet to expand the ability of your single people. Okay? Now, great tools. Now, I'm not expecting you're going to just implement all of this overnight, but we wanted you to know about it. That's my contact, but as I've told you, please now take a little piece of paper, put your name, your email, please write clearly so we can read it. Name, email, and phone number, and we'll send you this PowerPoint. We'll send you more information, and we'll keep you connected to the work of ISKCON Online and try to assist you in your work. So, we are now finished. So, but if you want any questions, you have some things you'd like to ask about, please feel free to do so while we're winding up. Thank you very, very much.
Also,
Hare Krishna.
don't forget to collect.
Please take one of our Chant Now cards. And by the way, Chant Now is a tool that you can add to your pipeline. If you're looking for a way, something to offer people that is easy, attractive, Western people, basically, but we have a lot of Indian students as well. Check it out. We're ready. You can use it, making a link. We can even give you your own page, your own sign-up page that you'll get notified when somebody signs up. So please take advantage of chantnow.com. Add it to your own pipeline. Thank you. Hare Krishna.